The galaxy is in complete distress. Ancient's venture was destroyed, and Moradesh followed just weeks later. Apparently, no planet is safe, and there could be fatal consequences for humanity itself. But what if we told you that SuperEarth played a significant role in making all of this possible? Could the victims of these devastating events be a direct result of the Federation's reckless actions? This is T3 of the FTK-Collective. Join us as we connect the dots between the usage of dark fluid, the destruction of Meridia, the return of the Illuminate, and the fall of two prosperous planets. Meridia wasn't like other planets affected by the TCS. Reports from the front confirmed that something was very different. Bugs were suddenly spreading in sheer endless masses, their reproduction rate increasing to 20% faster than usual. The entire planet seemed to be turning into an ideal environment for bugs, while accelerating their evolution. Since these mutated bugs contained 10 times more E710 than usual, SuperEarth initially benefited. But the threat grew to the point where countermeasures had to be taken. Enter dark fluid, and the course of the war changed dramatically. The Federation injected dark fluid into Meridia's crust, and the substance destabilized the planet. It destroyed the super colony, and Meridia was no more. Now here's where SuperEarth's story starts to unravel. The destruction of the Terminate super colony left what was later confirmed to be a wormhole. A few weeks passed without any further incidents.
In a shocking development, the anti-democratic aliens known as the Illuminate have been confirmed as responsible for multiple simultaneous attacks across the galaxy. The advanced and highly xenophobic beings were thought exterminated in the First Galactic War, but according to the Ministry of Defense, their survival indicates that our children and our freedom are now more at risk than ever before. The Helldivers deployed immediately in response to the Illuminate and have already killed many of the intolerant squid-like terrorists while taking minimal casualties. That's Liberty's latest. I'm Coretta Kelly.
Then suddenly, in the midst of the Second Galactic War, the Illuminate returned out of nowhere. They invaded the planet Calypso on December 12, 2184. The majority of their forces consisted of marauders, later known as the Voteless. The wormhole seemed to have created a pathway for the Illuminate to return. This came as a sudden surprise to the Federation, as the Illuminate were thought to have been defeated after the First Galactic War. The terms of their surrender were harsh. They were to disband their military. They were also required to surrender all technologies with potential military applications, with technologies such as dark fluid being handed over to the Federation. How plausible is it that a species as advanced and educated as the Illuminate would willingly surrender such a powerful weapon as dark fluid? Wouldn't they do everything in their power to keep this devastating weapon out of the hands of their enemies? Here's our theory. The Illuminate willingly risked letting the dark fluid fall into the hands of SuperEarth. Maybe they saw this as a key to their return. Perhaps they knew or gambled that one day SuperEarth would use this weapon, creating a wormhole in the process, and that this could serve as a backdoor to re-enter the galaxy they were forced to leave. Think about it. If they had a safe place completely out of the Federation's reach, they could regroup, re-strategize, and eventually take revenge. If you think back to the First Galactic War, their retreat happened over 100 years ago. Plenty of time to prepare. Maybe this is a common Illuminate retreat tactic and has happened before. Remember, this species has been around for ages. They probably know a thing or two about survival. One thing is certain, The wormhole was the key to the return of the Illuminate.
Good evening. I'm your host, Coretta Kelly. Further evidence reveals how the Illuminate used the Meridian Singularity to enable their return. The destruction of the Terminid supercolony earlier this year appears to have created a wormhole, which the Illuminate were able to use to force entry into our galaxy. Experts speculate that following the end of the First Galactic War, Illuminate refugees fled outside the Milky Way, trapping themselves in intergalactic space. Until now. An investigation is underway to determine if the scientists responsible for the development of the dark fluid bombs used to destroy the supercolony were secretly under Illuminate mind control the entire time. That's Liberty's latest. I'm Coretta Kelly.
All Helldivers available were immediately deployed to the urbanized settlements of Calypso. The invasion was repelled on December 15th after 3 days of grueling combat, with the Illuminate being sent on the run by the Helldivers. The Illuminate's tactics revealed a clear departure from traditional warfare, focusing on guerrilla invasions that targeted colonies rather than establishing long-term control. Any given planet in the galactic south may be under attack by the Illuminate at any moment.
Good evening. I'm your host, Coretta Kelly, with breaking news. A shocking report from the Ministry of Science has revealed the true nature of the humanoid assailants being used by the Illuminate. These attackers have been confirmed as former citizens of SuperEarth, abducted and transformed into mind-controlled monstrosities. Captured specimens retain no trace of their former selves, showing no recognition of loved ones or the SuperEarth flag. These lost souls have been named the Voteless. Tragically, they are completely beyond saving. Citizens are advised to guard themselves against Illuminate mind control by redoubling their commitment to democratic values. As for the Voteless, the Helldivers have been ordered to bring a swift end to their horrific fates as foot soldiers of a despotic regime. Stay tuned.
The Ministry of Science has confirmed the chilling truth. The Illuminate's humanoid attackers were once citizens of SuperEarth, abducted, twisted, and turned into mindless monstrosities. Captured specimens show no trace of their former selves, showing no recognition of loved ones or the flag of SuperEarth. Let's take a closer look at the claim that the key scientists responsible for the dark fluid bomb were actually mind-controlled by the Illuminate and therefore involved in their return. This makes no sense to us. If mind control is so absolute that it erases memories, mutates the body, and turns people into zombie-like creatures, how could they pose as credible scientists? Their mind control would have to be so subtle that no one would notice. We think this is very unlikely to happen under the watchful eyes of SuperEarth officials. This sounds less like a real theory and more like a convenient scapegoat. Much like what SuperEarth did to the 3 main scientists involved in the creation of the TCS. This seems to us to be a constant trope. Let scientists serve their purpose and then discreetly discard them or even suggest that they are dissidents to tarnish their image and serve as a cover-up. Following efforts to fend off the Illuminate attacks, fluctuations in space-time and dark energy caused universal shock. Rumors quickly began to circulate that this was connected to the Illuminate. The wormhole, now called the Meridian Singularity, appears to be hunting Federation core planets. The Illuminate are somehow weaponizing it, creating an existential threat not only to the colonies but to SuperEarth itself. Federation High Command issued a statement confirming everyone's worst fears.
The Illuminate have been harvesting dark energy in their constant raids in the south of the galaxy to move the Meridian Singularity. The course of the wormhole indicates that it is moving towards Angel's venture, putting all its citizens in extreme danger. All Helldivers are ordered to deploy immediately and push back the Illuminate.
But all efforts proved to be futile, as Angel's venture became the first planet to be consumed by the Meridian Singularity. But it wouldn't be the last. The planet of Moradesh, home of the Moradesh research facility, was at the center of the next unfolding tragedy. Once a beacon of innovation dedicated to the weaponization of dark fluid and the destruction of Meridia, is now ironically threatened by its own creation. Though the scientists working at the facility were evacuated, their research was left behind. On March 14, 2185, at about 8:45 in the morning, tragedy would strike again, as Moradesh was torn apart by the Meridian Singularity. Keep in mind, this wormhole is the direct result of SuperEarth's experiments in weaponization of dark fluid. They created this disaster, and as always, they're blaming others. SuperEarth wants us to blame the Illuminate and act as if none of this was in any way caused by their own recklessness. Please remember that the Illuminate made SuperEarth a peace offering at the beginning of the First Galactic War. We've seen this pattern before. The bug mutations, the gloom, and now the Meridian Singularity, all in some way caused by SuperEarth. They will never admit it, nor will they tolerate anyone saying so. But as we put the pieces together, beginning with the destruction of Meridia, the subsequent formation of a wormhole, the return of the Illuminate, and the destruction of two key planets, it becomes clear that these events are the direct result of SuperEarth's power-hungry and greedy actions. The future remains unclear, perhaps more than ever before. The Federation may face an unprecedented threat to its core planet. This is T3 of the FTK-Collective. Stay safe, stay aware, and keep questioning, because if we don't, no one will.